Hey guys, Abby Johnson here. So I wanted to respond to a bunch of emails that I've gotten from you guys. Um, One thing that keeps coming up over and over and over again is this, I don't know, something that's come out on Facebook and Instagram, and you guys have shared it with me, and a lot of you are like, we don't know what to say, Abby, can you please respond? So this is going to be my response to this long post that was put out by I don't know who. But I had seen it before, but it came out again during all of this Texas heartbeat bill stuff. And it basically starts out by saying, I'm not pro murdering babies. And then it goes on to talk about all these very dramatic stories, of course, because people who support abortion always bring out the exceptions to justify the majority. And so, it says, I'm pro Becky, who found out at her 20-week anatomy scan that the infant she had been so excited to bring into this world had developed without life-sustaining organs. So, that's sad. That happens occasionally. But in situations like this, I'm not sure what pro-abortionists think happened to that baby. That baby still has to be delivered. In a late-term abortion, that baby still has to be delivered. And so, a late-term abortion doesn't mean that they go in and they sprinkle fairy dust on the woman's abdomen and then all of a sudden the baby poofs, into the air, and just magically disappears. This woman is having to go through labor and delivery in a third trimester abortion. And it doesn't matter if the baby has life-sustaining organs or not. That mama is going to have to go through labor and delivery. And what we know to be true because of studies, because of trauma work, we know that mom is going to have a much better result emotionally if she actually gets to have time to mourn the loss of her child, to hold her baby. There may be a time where the baby actually lives outside of the womb after it's born, and she may have a little bit of time to actually spend with her baby while that baby is alive. Why wouldn't she want that opportunity instead of knowing that her baby died a very horrendous, barbaric death in the womb? So, I'm pro Becky's baby in that situation. And also I'm pro Becky because I want her to be able to grieve in the best way that she can. It talks about, being pro Teresa, who had a placental abruption. Well, an abortion isn't even needed in that case. In those cases, a placental abruption would happen later in the pregnancy. So that would be a situation where you would work to save the life of the mother and the baby. So this is, of course, propaganda that they have drummed up to try to cause a distraction. But this would be a situation where we would be for mom and baby. We would work to save two lives, not just one. Abortion is not needed. They talk about, I'm pro Emily, who went through IVF, ending up with 6 viable implanted eggs, requiring selective reduction to ensure the safety of her pregnancy. Well, you know what? In that situation, Emily, maybe you should have thought about that before you implanted 6 babies. If you're going to implant 6 babies, then expect 6 pregnancies to take from that. I'm pro those babies in her womb, and I'm not pro their death. But I'm also pro Emily because I don't want her to have to live with the regret of knowing that she took the lives of several of those babies because of selective reduction. And that's really at the heart of this ridiculous piece that's been put out. I'm for the babies here. I am not for innocent life being stolen. I'm not for innocent life being taken. But here's the other thing. I'm for every single hypothetical woman that has been written about in this article. I'm for all of those women too, because I'm tired of meeting women who say to me, Abby, I regret having an abortion. I've never met a woman who has said to me, you know, I wish I wouldn't have had my kids. But I have met tens of thousands of women who have said to me, Abby, I wish I wouldn't have had my abortion. And so, you know, this article ends, you know, by saying that, you know, I'm pro their lives. Well, I'm pro these women's lives too. And that's exactly why I'm pro-life. Because in the pro-life, we are the movement that is pro-woman. We are the movement that is not just pro-babies, but pro the lives of these women. We are pro whole life, life of the mom and the baby. And we are the only movement that is actively working to help the woman who is in crisis. The pro-abortion movement does nothing to help women. The only thing that they do for women is tell them that they are not strong enough to overcome their circumstances. We know better. We know better. So don't listen to this propaganda that's out there today. Don't listen to all these little sound bites and all these things on Facebook and Instagram. You know what? In fact, when you see it, call it out for the propaganda and the lie that it is. We are the ones who are pro-life, and we are the ones that are giving women real choices.